What's up everyone, my name is Alpha and today we're back with another Pokemon Challenge video. Today we're on Pokemon Radical Red, like always, the new update 3.0 update. We're not doing a hardcore mode again, we're just doing a regular challenge this time on minimum grinding. Very difficult challenge today. Today's challenge will be, can I beat Pokemon Radical Red using only a Trick Room team? So someone left this in the comments recently in my previous challenge video. Actually, they left it 8 days in a row, or 8 videos in a row. So obviously I got to it eventually because I was like, eight videos? That's a long time. It's kind of difficult, I'm not gonna lie. So let me run through the rules real quick. So Trick Room team, I needed the slowest possible Pokemon possible. So I decided to just rank all the Pokemon down to the speed tiers, and then any Pokemon with 30 speed or less is allowed to be used in a Trick Room team, because I feel like that goes inside with the slowest team and also a Trick Room team. So we have a little mixture of both into the challenge, so it makes sense. And also each of my Pokemon that I use will be also presented to you guys, so you guys can fact check it that they have a base speed of less than 30, which is very slow, very slow. And also each of my Pokemon will be nicknamed after you guys in the comments. So thank you so much for leaving a comment in the previous challenge video. We got a lot of nicknames today, so thank you so much for leaving a comment. If you guys want me nicknamed after a future Pokemon in my future challenge video, just drop it in the comments and hopefully I'll pick yours. And while you're down there, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to me. Let's get into the challenge video itself. One quick thing, I want to do like post games of the hardcore mode, because I have a hardcore save obviously, and I want to do the post game of it, and I want to show you guys around. If you guys want me to do the Radical Red post game, I'll do that. I'll do like a little mini series and post it on the channel, and you guys can watch it. Let me know what you guys think of that idea. But anyways, let's get into the challenge video itself. To start off the challenge, there is no starter. This is how bad 30 speed is. There is no starter on a single stage that has less than 30 speed. The lowest possible starter Pokemon is a Turtwig that has 31 speed, and we can't use that one. So we have to go out and catch ourselves a few very slow Pokemon. We go out and catch ourselves a Sandygast as our first Pokemon. It does have a base speed under 30, however its evolution Palossand does not. So unfortunately for us, we can't use this evolution, but we can use this Pokemon to start off with. Our next Pokemon we're gonna go out and capture is going to be a Merlot. Its base speed and its evolution base speed, it's under 30, so we're able to use this as our team member for an entire run. We're also gonna move on into Diggler's Cave and catch ourselves a Yamas that evolves into a Galarian Cofagrigus, which also has a base stat total under 30, so we can use this one as well. And it's pretty difficult to find some good Pokemon and good synergy with base speeds under 30. Our next Pokemon is going to be a Bronzor. We're going to use the Bronzor, but we're not going to evolve it to a Bronzong because the Bronzong is too speedy. I think it has like 35 speed. We also catch ourselves a Bonsly, which luckily for us, Sudowoodo, very low speed, 30 speed on the screen. And from there, we could finally face off against Falkner, which we've been struggling off against, and we can finally beat him with the Sudowoodo we have on our team. And we can move on and face off against Brock next, which is going to be the first gym leader in the game. Brock's going to be the rock type gym leader in the game, and we're going to start the battle off against him using my Sudowoodo to low kick into his Geodude, take a lot of damage from him with his Bodos and whatnot, but we're able to knock him out with 3 low kicks, which is nice. And his next Pokemon will be a Vulpix, which does get a hidden power off on us, but we're able to rock throw and knock him out in one shot. And the Onyx comes out. I could go out into my Yamas next. I could Will-O-Wisp into him, which will set the stage up because my Yamas will go down, but I could switch out into my Merlot next, which will just Mega Drain and knock out the Onyx and flash into the Arcan to one-shot him, and we end up beating Brock. Pretty simple. Next up, we're going to head into Mount Moon, and we catch a very regrettable Pokemon. We catch a Paras and evolve into a Parasect. Its base speed is under 30, which is, I mean, it's good, but it's not a good Pokemon at all. After that, we're going to go out and catch ourselves a Cuffin, which is going to be the Elephant Steel type Pokemon from Generation 8, which I think a lot of people forget about. But its final evolution base speed is under 30, and also its Gmax form and Mega form all under 30, so it's nice. We're going to catch that, add it to our team, and move on and face off against the second gym leader in the game. We're going to face off against Misty next, and we're going to start the battle off against her using my Sudowoodo, which is going to Woodhammer into her first Pokemon, which is going to be a Frogadier. It switches out into his Floatzel, which gets one-shotted. Her next Pokemon will be a Starmie, which I'm going to go out into my Parasect, which is probably the only good thing it does right now, because I Spored the Starmie, and then I'm able to Bug Bite into him, and eventually I am able to just Spore him once again. Leech Seed, Bug Bite is a cycle, and eventually I am able to knock him out with my Parasect, so one of the few good things Parasect does. But it goes down to the Frogadier, and after that I just go out into my Shiinotics. Shiinotic will easily knock out the Frogadier for us as he switches out to his Lantern, and we're able to beat down both of them. Get our second gym match of the game. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Team is very slow. Everyone gets a free hit on us, which is kind of annoying, but we're eventually able to get through it, and we can move on and capture our next Pokemon, which you guys been watching the channel, following the channel. I've been using Applin a lot. I'm gonna capture my Applin, add it to our team, and evolve it into the Appleton, which is going to be a Pokemon with a base speed under 30, which is nice. And don't mind us, we're also catching a Hatini, which is going to evolve into a Hatterene, which also has a base speed under 30. And then we could face off against the next gym leader in the game. We're going to face off against Lieutenant Surge next. Lieutenant Surge is going to be the electric type gym leader in the game, and we're going to start the battle off against him using my Shenanigans to just Giga Drain him down. 2 Giga Drains would knock out the Pincurchin, and he sends out his Manectric next. I'm going to save my Shenanigans, so I'm going to go out into my Appleton to obviously take any damage from the Manectric. As he switches out into his Vigavolt, I got to switch out. He's going to one-shot me, so I'm going to sacrifice my Yamask right here, and then go out to my Sudowoodo to Rock Slide, get the Raichu on accident, which is unfortunate. So I'm gonna switch back out into my Shenanigans for some reason. But he goes out into his Bolton next. I get a Giga Drain off against him, and I thought my Appleton could survive an Ice Fang from him. So I go out to my Appleton, and he just goes down. And unfortunately for me, Appleton, even though he has thick fat, cannot take a Bolton Ice Fang, which is unfortunate. From there, I'm gonna just go out to my Copperjaw. Should easily knock out the Bolton for me, and I'm able to do a bit of chip damage against the Manectric before it knocks me out, which is unfortunate. And then from there, I'm gonna go out into my Sudowoodo and then Rock Slide and knock out the Vigavolt for us, which is nice. The Manectric is gonna come out. I am able to do a bit of chip damage as it knocks out both my Sudowoodo and my Parasect, which is unfortunate. I go out into my Shenanigans, and lucky enough, it survives a Flame Burst multiple times, so I'm able to Giga Drain him and knock him out. Pretty simple and pretty free. From there, we beat Lieutenant Surge, and we go back out into Vermilion City-ish, and we catch ourselves a Slowpoke. We got his Galarian Slowpoke, which is going to be very nice, and we move on and face off against the next gym leader in the game. We face off against Erica next. Erica is going to be the grass type gym leader of the game, and we start the battle off against her using my Parasect, which is going to Leech Life into his Venusaur, which does about half, but it's going to knock me out in one shot using Sludge Bomb. I go out to my Hatterene next, which will Psyche him, survive a Sludge Bomb lucky enough, and will knock him out. She's going to switch out into Meganium. I sack my Hatterene, which is fine. I go out to my Slowbro, which is a Poison and Psychic type Pokemon, which will knock out that Meganium first, and then the Rillaboom, which this thing's going crazy against. She's going to go out into her Electrode, his Hisuian Electrode, which is going to knock out my Slowbro, but then I can go out into my Shenanigans to knock him out. He's going to explode. It's fine. The last Pokemon will be a Superior, which I go out to my Copperajah, and then just knock him out. Pretty simple. Erica goes down as we get our 4th gym badge of the game, and then from there we go into the basement of the Team Rocket hideout. We beat through Giovanni pretty easily, as you can see, and then from there we go into Silphco. We beat down our rival. Nothing too difficult here. I mean, we barely beat him with Hatterene at 4 HP. From there we could face off against Archer and Ariana and beat them down in this double battle fight, which is pretty nice, and also face off against Giovanni. None of these fights are too difficult. The only fight that is pretty difficult is the gym leader coming up next, which we have to prepare for. So we actually go back into Mount Moon and catch ourselves a Roly-Poly. Final evolution of Roly-Poly is going to be under 30, so we're able to catch it, add it to our team, and face off against Sabrina next. Sabrina's gonna be a double battle fight, and we're gonna start the battle off against her using my Copperjaw and also my Colossal, which is an interesting choice of Pokemon. I am able to outspeed the Hatterene and Iron-Headed to knock him out before she sets up a Trick Room, and then surprisingly, my slowest team is outspeeding Sabrina's team. I'm able to Flame Charge into the Indeedee twice to get my speed up as we knock out the Indeedee in the following turn, and then from there, Crawdon has a Focus Sash, so I want to prioritize knocking off the Crawdon's Focus Sash first. Both my Pokemon will go down to the Ursaluna and also the Crawdon, but I break the Focus Sash, which is very, very important for later on. And then from there though, we can go out into my Shenanigans and also my Appleton. So I'm going to recover using my Appleton and then Spore down the Crawdon because I need to put it to sleep. Luckily enough, it attacks my Appleton as I recover with my Appleton, and then I'm going to Energy Ball into the Ursaluna and then Strength Step into the Ursaluna as well to lower its attack stat, so my Pokemon can survive some hits now. And then luckily enough, my Shenanigans barely survived as I'm able to Energy Ball and knock out the Crawdon. The Ursaluna survives as the Gardevoir comes out and knocks out my Shenanigans, but my Appleton barely survives, knocks out the Ursaluna for us as we go out to our Runagis? What is it called? Runagis? It's something like that. It's the evolution of our Galarian Yamask. We're going to go out into him and we're going to Shadow Claw into the Gardevoir to knock him out in one shot. And then we go out to our Sudowoodo to 1v1 the Porygon 2, and we end up beating Sabrina up just barely, but we do end up beating Sabrina, and we get our 5th gym badge of the game, which is pretty nice. From there though, we're going to catch ourselves the Snorlax outside of Celadon City. Pretty simple, pretty easy. And I just hate this route, this new route in Cycling Road where I just can't go down to Fuchsia City straight up. I gotta face through all the trainers in here. Super difficult, not even difficult, it's just super annoying. I just don't like that. but it's not my ROM hack, so I gotta deal with it. Anyways, we're gonna face off against Koga next. Koga is the 6th gym leader in the game, and we're start the battle off against him using my Hatterene, which will Trickroom up and Psychic to one-shot the Swallow. Greninja comes out, it's gonna knock me out, get this Ash Greninja form, but I go out into my Appleton to one-shot him. As he then goes out to his Acelgar, which will Bug Buzz and knock out my poor Appleton in one shot, but I'm able to go out to my Colossal to one-shot down the Acelgar, which is nice. Dragapult comes on next, is going to knock me out unfortunately, so I go out into my Sudowoodo to Sucker Punch twice and knock out the Dragapult. Then to go out to my Copper Shell to Bodos into the Drapion, lowers the speed. He's going to knock me out with a Wicked Blow, but my Runa guys has a Shadow Shield ability, so I'm able to survive any hits from him. Earthquake will knock out the Drapion, and I survive a Sludge Bomb from the Toxicity, the G-Max Toxicity, as I'm able to one-shot him and knock him out. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Next up, we're going to face off against Price next. Super simple battle over here. Our Copper has a Mega Stone on it, so we're able to G-Max him up and knock out most of Price's team. And from there, we get the Choice Scarf from him. We also go back and face off against Chuck next. Chuck, super simple. We also show him Copper, get the Focus Sash from him. And this is such an embarrassing moment. I go out into Palatine trying to swim into Cinnabar Island, and I can't escape this Tentacruel, which will knock out my entire team. And we blacked out to a Tentacruel, which is kind of funny. From there, we're going to face off against Blaine next. Blaine is going to be the Fire-type gym leader in the game, and I start the battle off against him using my Choice Banded, which we got from Jasmine. We got a Choice Banded Sudowoodo to Head Smash into the Torkoal to one-shot him. And then he sends out his Executor next, which I can Shadow Claw and his Shadow Sneak to knock him out. Pretty simple. He goes out to his Cinderace next. I switch out my other Slowbro into a Cantonian Slowbro. They have the same speed, so it's fine. I go out to the Slowbro, and I end up actually being able to slack off in front of him and then burn him with a Scald, which is very confusing. It actually worked out because he switches his typing to Dark typing. So I am able to burn him down, and I'm able to catch some Sunflower with some chip damage. Sacrifice my Maruna guys. Go out into my Hatterene to set up a Trick Room, and then Psychic to knock out the Sunflora, and then go down to the Typhlosion. But I go out into my Sudowoodo to survive and hit from the Typhlosion. Head Smash would knock him out in one shot, and then I could go out into my Mega Slowbro to knock out the Cinderace, which is nice. And his final Pokemon will be Charizard Y, which doesn't end up Solar Beaming my Slowbro for some reason, which is odd. So I'll go out to my Focus Sash, Copper Rock Slide would knock out the Charizard, and we end up beating Blaine pretty easily. From then we can move on and face off against both Archer and Ariana in this back-to-back fight. Nothing too difficult, as I get very lucky as the Mawile does not one-shot my Runa guys with Sucker Punch, which is super nice. And in this double battle fight against Giovanni with Lance as my teammate, he just decides to roost up and never do anything. If he ended up Earthquaking at any point against the Tyranitar, we could have knocked him out, as it's a 2v1. But unfortunately, he left me in a 2v1 and we lose. So we have to keep restarting until Lance actually grow a brain, and we're able to beat down Giovanni finally. After so long, we're able to finally beat down Giovanni. Not thanks to him, obviously, because I carried him through this entire fight. But we're able to beat Lance, and we move on and face out against Claire next. Claire's going to be the 8th gym leader in the game, and we're going to start the battle off against her using my Slowbro. We're actually getting not Mega here because we have Regenerator. We're able to knock down the Aerodactyl, and then switch out my Slowbro, get the HP back. Go out to my Ruina guys, take a critical hit Flare Cannon, which is annoying, but I'm going to Trick Room up. Earthquake will knock out, since I Trick Room, outspeed and don't knock him out. And also Destiny Bond to knock out the Magnera, so 3 Pokemons are her down already. We're able to really just get through this pretty easily as I go out to my Copper Mega up, and I'm able to Earthquake him down, get him down to pretty low HP. Actually knock him out, so I get down to low HP, so that's pretty simple. Her Dragonite comes on next, and her, I'm going for a Skull Burn. No Skull Burns are going out right now, which is so annoying. 4 Skulls, no Skull Burn, but it's fine. I go out to my Sudowoodo to Sucker Punch twice to knock him out, and then her next Pokemon will be a Dragovich, which I don't have too much of an issue with. I'm able to one-shot it and knock him out pretty easily. And down goes Claire, and then we move on after getting our 8th gym badge of the game. We can move out into Route 22-ish. Right before Victory Road, we beat down Brennan for the last time. For a Trick Room team, we really focus on priority moves like Shadow Sneak and Sucker Punch. Anyways, we also forgot the H-Jump for String, which is kind of annoying, but we'll go back into Victory Road and clear through it without too much of an issue. We have a lot of items to help us through this. I also accidentally duplicated myself, so there's 2 of me, and I'm like, what's going on here? Why am I broken? Why is it broken like this? So we went into this double battle fight legitimately with 2 trainers. After that, we face off against the Elite Four next. We're going to face off. After that, we're going to challenge against the Elite Four next. The Elite Four is going to be quite annoying. I'm not gonna lie. Our first opponent is gonna be Lorelei, which is the most annoying opponent, ironically. She just can strictly use her ice team, which I don't know how to switch her team. I face off against her water team ever, so it's kind of a weird one. Anyways, we're gonna face off against Lorelei. We're gonna start the battle off against her using both my Caparaja and my Sudowoodo to knock out her Ninetales integration in the first turn. Sudowoodo will go down, but that's fine, as I'm able to go out into my Choice Scarf Hatterene, which has barely enough speed to actually outspeed the Calyrex on the other team, which allows me to get enough chip damage so my Caparaja can double Iron Bash and one-shot down the Calyrex, which is kind of funny. Then I could go out into my Shiinotic next. Shiinotic is going to Spore into the Zumro as my Caparaja goes down. I go out to my Runegeist. I don't have too much of a play here. I go for a Giga Drain against the Rotom, which does barely any damage, and at this point I'm really stuck here, so I need to knock out something. I double attack the left side against the Rotom, force out the Abomasnow, and then Destiny Bond in front of them. My Shiinotic will go down to the Zumro, and then I'm able to actually outspeed the Abomasnow and get a Destiny Bond off against him and knock him out with a Destiny Bond. And then from there I could go out to my Mega Slowbro. Well, I can't be Mega, but I could just slack off in front of the Zumro, eventually get my HP all the way back up, and then I'm able to Psychic into the Zumro to knock him out, and we end up beating Lorelei just barely. Thing would have been easier if we face off against her Rain team. At least we beat her after like 10 tries. From there, we're going to face off against Bruno next. We're going to start the battle off against Bruno, accidentally megaing up my Slowbro, but we're able to knock out the Infernape pretty easily, and then he sends out his Urshifu. I go out to my Shiinotic next, which stops the Urshifu just in his tracks. I String Sap him and then just Sparkling Swirl, knock him out in one shot. His next Pokemon is going to be Exhaustion, which I survive. I Spore him, String Sap twice, go out into my Runegeist, which will actually Earthquake twice and knock him out, which is surprising. I just 1v1 Exhaustion. Kind of funny. Komo's going to knock me out and get all his boosts, which is kind of annoying. I go out to my Shiinotics, survive a Flash Cannon somehow, and then Sparkling Swirl will knock him out in one shot. Lucario comes on next. He's going to knock me out, but I'm able to just go out into my Slowbro, Flamethrower into him, and knock him out. His last Pokemon will be a Conkeldurr, which I don't get a burn on, but go out to my Hatterene and knock him out. Super simple. From there, we're going to move out and face off against the next Elite Four member. We're going to face off against Agatha next. Agatha is going to be the Ghost type Elite Four member. We're going to start the battle off against her using my Sudowoodo to just head smash into her Grimmsnarl to one-shot it, which is okay, works for me. And for whatever reason, I just sacked my Copperjaw right here. I'm not really using Trickroom too much on my team. I do have it on 2 of my Pokemon. I just don't use it too often because it's hard to set up. I gotta set it up and then use it after. So I think it's more efficient just to take the hit and just attack in the following turn, which is kind of funny. It's more efficient doing that than Trick Room. From there, I could just Earthquake into the Gengar, one-shot him, and then just go out to my Shiinotic to 1v1 against the Marshadow, knock him out, kinda get a poison on him to Sucker Punch, and then his final Pokemon will be a Dragapult, which my Slowbro will handle pretty easily as I'm able to Mega Up and then Psychic to knock him out. Next up, we face off against the next Elite Four member of the game. The 4th Elite Four member of the game will be Lance. Lance is kind of difficult, so we're going to start the battle off against Lance using my Slowbro, not getting Mega Up this time. We're going to Scald into the Aerodactyl, knock him out pretty easily. Then we can switch out my Slowbro, get his Regenerator off, go out into my Hatterene to Trick Room up against the Dragonite as it's stuck into Outrage, and then double back into my Slowbro to Scald into him, Mega Up and Skull Burn into the Melmetal, and then Slack off in front of the Melmetal. And then his Dragovich comes on next, which I don't have a problem with. I go out into my Shiinotics, he's going to Spore into the Dragonite, and then 2 Sparkling Swirls will knock him out, and we knock out the Dragonite. From there, I could go out, and then from there, he's going to switch out into his Primal Dialga, sack my Shiinotics, which is unfortunate, go out to my Hatterene, which is going to Mystical Fire, lower his special attacks multiple times. As he goes out into his Dragovich, I go out into my Slowbro, and all I gotta do is recover myself, get the Skull Burn, which is nice. Finally get the Skull Burn on my side. All I gotta do is stay in, and then he's gonna switch out to his Dialga, which I could always stay in. I decided to sack my Hatterene and go out to my Runegeist, which would just do a lot of damage with Earthquake anyways. He ends up going for a rest, which doesn't work out for him because he never gets Roar of Time. So I'm able to just eventually Earthquake him down and knock him out. As his next Pokemon will be the Burn Dragovich, which gets knocked out easily. And his final Pokemon will be a Salamence, which unfortunately for him, he can't beat my entire team, as I'm able to just double Iron Bash with my Caparaja and knock him out. I mean, super simple. It's just straight to the point. From there, we're going to face off against a rival of the game. We're going to face off against the champion of the game. We're going to start the battle off against him using my Slowbro to just Scald into the Pheromosa and then burning him. That's some one-shot him, which is unfortunate. He goes into his Yveltal next, which is kind of annoying. So I decided to go out to my Shiinotics to absorb the Dark Hole. Luckily, it fell asleep, so it can't sleep any of my other Pokemon. I decided to go out into my Copper. I survive a hit, luckily enough. I do a lot of damage, but from there I have to go out to my Sudowoodo to head smash into the Yveltal to knock him out. My Sudowoodo unfortunately goes down as well. He then goes out to his Eternatus, which will one-shot my Hatterene, so now I'm down to 3 Pokemon. Luckily enough though, I switch out to my Runegeist. He switches out into his Groudon, which I'm able to Earthquake into him. 2 Earthquakes would knock him out. Super simple. Pheromosa comes on next. Shadow Sneak would knock him out. He's down to 3 as well. He goes out to his Ditto, which he's gonna just copy my Runegeist. It doesn't really work like that. As a Mega with my Slowbro, I'm just gonna end up scalding him. He's gonna get burned, which is unfortunate. So he's just a useless Runegeist here. So I'm just gonna slack off in front of him as he can't do anything else. He's slowly dying. Then he goes out to his Metagross next. I'm gonna Mega up against his Metagross, and my Slowbro obviously 1v1s him pretty easily. He goes out to his Ditto next. I'm able to Psychic, knock him out. The burn knocks him out, and then from there he sends out his Eternatus next. I just decide to just sack my Shenanigans, and then my Runegeist in the back. I still don't know if it's his name or not. I'll just Destiny Bomb with my Runegeist and will knock out the Eternatus for us as we beat down the champion of the game. As we just barely beat this challenge. I'm not gonna lie, this challenge took a long bit of time. Over 4.5 hours to beat Radical Red. Minimum grinding, by the way. Radical Red minimum grinding with 4 hours. Which is actually a long time if you think about it. Because I just had to take a hit every single time. Because all my Pokemon were so slow. It was like impossible not to take a hit. And even Trick Room itself is not too useful unless the opponent is using it apparently. Or unless you're using it in a double battle fight. It's not too good of a move. So unfortunately this was actually one of the harder challenges I have ever done. So thanks so much for recommending this challenge. It was actually pretty difficult. And that will be the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you guys can, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to me you guys made it this far. And my name has been Alpha. Hope you guys all had a great day. And I am out. Peace.